I utilize social media as a platform to allow me to see what I'm facing in the community. It gives me power, more energy, more focus, because a lot of times people say we really truly want to help, but they lack the understanding of what they're really dealing with, right? So when you see it constantly and you have that conviction, I'm fed by what I see, and it drives me to want to help these young people, because at the end of the day, when you come from a place of hopelessness, right, a lot of times you succumb to whatever.
In an era dominated by digital connectivity, social media has become an integral part of everyday life, especially for young people. From learning new skills to connecting with friends, children have embraced these platforms.
I just like it. They got everything on there that the phone got. You can text people, call people, message people.
I think using Instagram is alright, but like it's the things people post.
I don't think it's scary. It's just, you just gotta watch TikTok. If you get on the right apps and not anything bad, like you're aware of stuff, then there's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, I feel like the people on there are more scary than anything, but the social media itself is not scary.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty cool, but depending on how you use it. Some people be abusing it. Like, they get on there doing all this crazy stuff that we don't need to see. I mean, I feel like you can't keep it real, but they be doing a little bit too much.
For many children, social sites are more than just entertainment. It's a space for creativity, connection, and discovery. Beyond the viral trends and endless scrolling, students like Zoey have found ways to learn in ways that feel more engaging and interactive than the traditional classroom.
Yeah, like, we don't learn about this stuff during school. Like, we learn about little simple stuff, but the teacher really don't put pen to paper. They just, hey, this what you gonna do, and they go sit down. And I feel like that's crazy, but then when you get on TikTok, it's like stuff they step by step. They even got a side for STEM. You learn about math, science, history, stuff like that. And we pretty much learn through there, short videos. Videos be like 10 minutes, but it's like a crash course. And I feel like I learn better on there because it's like, it's interesting. They make it to where you wanna learn it.
I think social media is like a good way for kids, family and parents and everybody to connect with each other and like learn new things. Like, I feel like it teaches more than school teaches students itself, because like if you get on any apps and you like click on learning or STEM, it teaches you a lot more. I learned a lot more on social media than anything in class.
I feel like I can see where she's coming from. She's trying to say that the apps teach you more things than you learn in school, because school mostly teaches you stuff about like that'll help you in the educational world, while different apps and social media teaches you more stuff about real life and like different life hacks.
Yet, no matter how they use it, they can't escape the powerful influence of social media.
Yeah, I get influenced by like the fashion part. That's really the only part, and like, you know, sense of humor. I find a lot of people in there with my type of sense of humor. That's influencing, because it builds character for me and my sense of humor. But really, the fashion.
TikTok shop, yeah, that's where it's at. On there, they got like pretty cool stuff. Like, I be buying the little two-piece sets that they be having on there, like legging stuff, thermal stuff. Like, it's fine on there. Like, I just bought some, this lady, she was on there talking about Ulta and face products, and I love my face. Like, I like to keep it clear and stuff. I just bought a lot of stuff from Ulta and class with it. I bought some stuff all Lulu, cause they said so. So it's just like, and the stuff been fine, I ain't gonna lie.
A lot of times, it always goes back to the power of influence. You gotta understand that at one point, these were kids that had aspirations. But what changed on the inside, right? Yes, you went through the struggle, but now social media has opened a whole new platform. And they're reaching kids at a greater, higher rate, because all it is let me turn on my phone, click the app, and I'm throughout the whole world without even having to pay for an airline ticket.
Joe Tolbert, president and founder of ICanMentoring, doesn't subscribe to social media, not because he doesn't see its impact, but because he believes too many influencers are misleading the youth, shaping their aspirations around illusions of success.
The effects that are happening with the youth today.
Therapist Kanisha Rotibi of A Chosen Path Counseling and Consultant Services shares a similar concern.
How to start a mass shooting. Oh, you want to be a mass shooter? a mass murderer.
Saying many influencers fail to take responsibility for the role they play in shaping young minds.
You can just stand right there all day, just moving left, right. You hit everybody, all you hear is
And then you have people on social media that they're just trying to be influencers, but not taking in account of who they are being a role model to and what they are doing to, cause different consequences and different things that are happening in the community. No accountability at all. Instead of saying, okay, I'm accountable for what people see. So a lot of people are just going to what we call like the University of Instagram or TikTok.
Though social media offers opportunities to learn, that learning is often overshadowed as kids admit violent images, fight videos, and even shootings sometimes appear in their feeds without warning.
It's like I could be scrolling and I'll randomly see somebody getting shot or somebody getting ran over. That scares me.
I have saw some videos with people getting shot. So I guess that's a little scary.
It was like the police surrounding a body. Like they were trying to CPR.
Them talking about Diddy and stuff.
It's some of the things I get showed, or like some of my friends show me, and like I can't put a thought on it. It's like the cartel type, but it's scary, it's nasty.
Trauma is like what we call trauma bonding. So people like to bond in trauma. So they'll say, oh, I've experienced that too. Oh no, I've experienced that. And then you have all of these people now, or all of these teens that are now victims, okay? May just be victim of circumstances, but also because they want to be a part of something. But now social media is collectively, you're on social media and you're gathering other people to come along with the situation. And so now you have bullying that is collective now, and you have a bunch of people that are expressing their opinion about certain issues, about certain traumas, about whatever it is. And so now we have that bonding, but it's not bonding good. It's not bonding to help encourage each other, encourage other teenagers and stuff. But now we're doing things just for likes or clicks.
And with the world more connected than ever, collective trauma has become a growing concern, a byproduct of social media algorithms that flood feeds with violence, tragedy, hate, and suffering.
Yeah, it depends on your algorithm and what you watch. Like sometimes, like if you like videos about like crisis and like end time world, like you'll get some stuff people like saying like, oh, live right. I mean, yeah, you should live right, but they'll make it seem like, oh, Jesus come back tomorrow, this and snip. Now this stuff can scare you. I feel like it's kind of like rage bait, clickbait, but like you really got to be firm in what you believe in and read the Bible to like know yourself, because nobody knows the time of the day. So it's just like, yeah, some people say the world, and then some people say it's aliens. Like I think it was in Baltimore, it was like stuff in the sky, and it was like it was just appearing, like typewriting and stuff. And it was like, something about a dome, a firmament and stuff like that, and paradise is coming. That stuff was scary to me. But if you stand firm in what you believe in, you cool.
I agree with what she said. Like, it really, for me, it depends on the mindset of how people, what you watch and what you believe in. You have to stand on your own foundation.
Aliyah speaks from experience. Having her own YouTube channel, she understands firsthand how social media shapes identity, influences trends, and determines what content gets seen and what gets lost in the noise.
I'm not in the camera, or I just wasn't in focus. Growing up, I was watching a lot of YouTube. Like, that was really like my childhood, on like iPad kid basically. But I still have my own personality. And I was like, I got a good personality to do this. So I was like, maybe I should try it. And that's how I got into YouTube and stuff.
Well, these donuts good. I don't really like glazed donuts like that, but these here, it don't even look like it got glaze on it. But the bread, I shouldn't even be eating this bread, bro.
Some of the downfall is like, me personally, it's too many people on it. So it make the algorithm harder for you to see like authentic stuff. Cause a lot of people be faking out here. So like me, if I'm an authentic personality and I want to get my personality out there because I know it'll make people entertained, but still spreading a good believing word, it's hard because it's fake stuff. And then the algorithm it really depends on what all the people like, and usually people like fake stuff.
Studies show that social media algorithms don't just reflect society, they reinforce its biases. Research from Demos reveals how Black users are disproportionately targeted by harmful content, from discriminatory policing of their posts to the overexposure of violent and negative imagery. And in the age of data capitalism, these platforms don't just connect people, they decide who gets connected.
So if I go in and I'm looking at a football, it understands that I like sports. So now it sends everything to me about sports. However, when we're dealing with youth, that's the biggest focus for me. Yes, adults and seniors are impacted by it also, but to get everybody to focus on one common cause, how does it impact our youth? So when we look at it from the youth perspective, okay, now I'm watching fights all day. These fights now turn to, they're creating false identities, cliques, and everybody's watching these cliques. And now it's leading to higher crime, higher violence in our Black and brown communities, right? Which ultimately impacts our youth. More in jail, more in the cemetery. Why? Because the more that we post these things, the more they see these things, the more they replicate these things, and no one's thinking about the consequences.
The other day, people's Instagram started showing random fight videos, and I seen a bunch of fights, and people were pulling out guns and shooting the other person, and it threw me off. Like, that's scary.
When we go into an apartment complex and we have people fighting, and we take that fight and we move now from just a simple fight to now weapons being pulled out. Normal situations, people used to run. However, today in society, everybody's recording. Everybody's watching. Even on one video, you can hear him say, oh, he's going to jail now. So we understand what consequence is. However, we don't want to miss the opportunity of a lifetime. And when we go and look at these posts, not only is it the post of the individual, but the comments that follow underneath. Everyone is responding to the heinous crime that just took place. Yet in our community, what are we truly doing to minimize these incidents, right? We got to get our churches back involved. We have to have the stakeholders, the business owners. We need the schools involved because it all plays a part in the community, right? Yes, social media plays the key factor, but changing the expectation, the mindset of our community can have an even more powerful influence on our youth versus them turning to social media thinking that that's the biggest opportunity. We have kids dropping out now out of school because social media can pay me. But a lot of times our youth succumb to social media because that's their day-to-day life.
As end users, the experience of navigating social media often gets lost in the larger hierarchy of these platforms, where major corporations control the algorithms, the content, and ultimately the culture. And these profit-driven companies leave users, especially young ones, to manage their own exposure. With all the other issues plaguing Black adults, is it fair to expect a child to monitor themselves in a system designed to keep them constantly engaged?
Focusing on homelessness, focusing on the lack of in the job market. Yes, we can make people career readiness, but we also have to build up our youth. Because as we advance them, we can minimize that backside that's been going on for years, right? Everybody bring a focus back, because when you penetrate a person, even one that's a mother that's broken, has multiple children, deep down inside, that mother still wants the best for her child. But when I don't know how to be that for my child, right, then what? And that's the dynamics that we face.
And as we stand face to face with the violent content on social platforms, these sites still remain a recruitment ground for sex traffickers.
We know that Dallas is a hub for sex trafficking, Okay, and so when you have sex trafficking, they're grooming adolescents. A lot of times, you have people that are planning kids. People think it's just adults, but they are actually planning kids to come in and recruit kids. In one particular case, we had a child that actually kind of showed where she was living. That's why it's important to know what social media is and letting teens know, especially girls, that you can be sex trafficked. You can be catfished online. You think it's a boy that's in your age group, 15, and it's really an old man, 35, 40, in another state, and he used somebody else's picture. So girls are not, and I'll say girls, but boys too, but girls specifically are using their social media page to get men to follow them, or they're using different things to recruit men. And so it's important that as adults, we teach kids what can happen when you're in social media contact.
But at the end of the day, when we think about our young girls and we talk about sex trafficking, and if we see our youth that are transitioning to these sexual attires because they feel like it gets more attention, and the more attention I get, I'm gonna be seen by a dude that's gonna take care of me. And if I'm seen by this dude that's gonna take care of me, now I've made it out of this situation. However, you haven't thought about the sex trafficking, you haven't thought about the abuse, you haven't thought about the torture, the pain, the hurt. All you saw was, if I look like something, I can be and change the dynamics of my life based off how I portray. So a lot of our youth are becoming great actors because they know how to play everybody, because all you have to do is watch.
I do ask that parents kind of restrict what their children are seeing on social media. If your child is in their room for an extended period of time and watching social media or a part of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it's very important that you're monitoring what your kids are seeing and being more in tune with what's going on with your kids. That's important. And so talking about issues, but making time to stop and have family time and talk about different issues that they may be experiencing is very important.
Parenting in the digital age is more crucial than ever, not just as a safeguard, but as an opportunity. By actively engaging in their child's online world, parents can turn social media monitoring into meaningful bonding, creating open conversations that guide, educate, and strengthen their connection.
I can see why they could be concerned about it. It's a lot of stuff that kids shouldn't want to see or traumatizing. Like seeing people randomly get ran over could possibly give kids a fear of crossing the street by themselves, or seeing people get shot. It could either make kids think like that's something that's okay to do, like, oh, it's okay to shoot somebody because I see it on social media, or it could make kids scared to approach people because you don't know what they're walking with.
And as Jermaney stated, they understand the parental concern and even attempt to protect themselves.
I could either remove the follow, or I could private my account. My account was private for a long time, but I recently just made it public. But I check the views and see who's watching it, and if it's somebody I don't know or somebody I don't want watching me, I block them and hide my story from them.
My account private, so I watch who I let in.
See, with that, I check who views my page and everything. I just stay clear from that. Somebody text my phone, text DM me or something, I don't respond to it if I don't know who you are. That's just that. And some, they can be fake accounts, spam accounts, and it can seem like I know this person because the pictures, they'll take pictures and stuff of the people I know and try to set me up. I'm real cautious on that.
Before it gets that far, with talking to people, it's usually on apps like Roblox where you don't really know them. It's just a little character that you can dress as, and then you text them or whatever, but you really don't get to see their face. There's a mic or a voice chat where you can talk to them, but I don't really use that. But it's just chatting. You just chat and play games. That's really all it is. But it could go that far where you can get their socials, but with an app like Roblox, it tags out everything where you can't do that. But that's why I mainly use Roblox, because it's fun for kids. It's like a kids app.
But still, most kids who have now learned to navigate social media learned from trial and error.
Hey, it took me a minute, I ain't gonna lie to you. Everybody had their you gotta have a stage to where you was on there just wilding and doing stuff until you
really understand, like, everybody got their little ugly face on social media.
Yeah, I pretty much figured it out. It's really just coming of age. Everybody do got their moments, but it's different for everybody. Like for me, I was just real goofy on there, you know, but I toned it down, you know. I had my embarrassing moments on there when I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't really move like that on social media. But I directed my path the correct way like I needed to.
Because it is kids on there doing stuff that they have no business doing. And you know, I didn't see it. You know, kids be on there talking crazy, you know, gang-wise, sexual-wise, you know, doing stuff that they have no business doing. And you know, sometimes it do need to be monitored. I feel like if you're like 13, 14, yeah, you most definitely need your parents to like look over that. But some people parents don't want you to have it. So, you know, kids be sneaking and doing it. And then they get on there doing all that extra stuff.
Like I said, there's a lot of bad stuff that kids should not be watching. So I understand that parents restrict everything and make it their age limit for everything like that. So yeah, but if you're a kid, then it would be great for you to watch kid-appropriate stuff and like not get onto all that other stuff.
The normalization of violence, crime, and exploitation on social media is an urgent issue, one that disproportionately affects Black youth. While these platforms hold incredible potential for positive influence, without proper guidance and intervention, they will continue to serve as breeding grounds for trauma, misinformation, and dangerous behaviors.
I feel like overall social media is a good source of entertainment, and it's a good way to get different information about the world, but there are a lot of negative things on it that people should be aware about. Like, it's not a very safe space. It's not kid-friendly at all.
And in response to Jermaney's concerns, Joe emphasizes that it takes the entire community to shift its perspective.
A lot of times when I engage people through work, I ask them, I say, hey, you run this store, this business in this community, and you allow it to be operated in the manner which you see fit. And most of these communities are high crime, high poverty communities. And the number one question I ask is, would you allow this store to operate and function in the community that you live in? And without a doubt, the answer is no. You know why? Because it's unacceptable to allow something to function such as this, that they allow in the Black and brown community to be allowed in a Caucasian community. And it goes back to the mindset, because in that community, the mindset, the expectations are different. But over here in the Black and brown community, we get lax. Hey, don't worry about it, because they ain't gonna speak up about it. They cool with it, because a lot of times we only worry about our doorstep. If we can get our focus back on our community, we can change a lot. But it takes people coming out using their voice in the right way.